Welcome to the Wife Stories YouTube channel. New video every day, and don't forget to subscribe. Here we go.
The pain in my chest flares again, like a hot nail being driven deeper with every breath. I can't seem to catch enough air. I sit there, hunched over in the quiet living room, as if pressing a hand to my ribcage could smother that burning ache. It doesn't help. And then I hear it. A muffled moan, soft but unmistakable, drifting from somewhere behind me. I turn, fighting the clench in my lungs. My son's iPad is on the coffee table. The screen is still lit, a video paused on a blurred image. My head spins. I reach for the device slowly, feeling my pulse thump in my ears. The moan repeats once, and it sounds like my wife. I unpause the video with a trembling finger. The camera's shaky, filming a park bench under the midday sun. I recognize the bench, a spot we used to sit, just she and I. Back before we grew comfortable with routine. Before we forgot to say "I love you" with real conviction. The phone camera lurches sideways, capturing two figures in the frame. One is her. The other is a man I don't know. I watch them laugh, his hand sliding beneath her skirt. The angle is awkward, but there's no question what's happening. She leans into him, whispers, moans again. She kisses him the way she used to kiss me. The chest pain tightens, but everything else goes distant and numb. My ears roar. I tap the screen, rewatch the brief clip 3 times. Each time, it feels like she's spitting in my face. She's wearing that floral skirt I bought her for our anniversary. The moan echoes in my head, scraping raw nerves inside my skull. I can't remember when my son left the iPad here or why he showed me this, but he must have stumbled across the video somehow. I picture him, wide-eyed, confused, not even aware of the significance. Or maybe he's old enough to guess, just not old enough to understand how deep betrayal can cut. My face feels cold. I set the iPad down carefully, as if it might explode. Eventually, I go to bed. The pain in my chest doesn't let up all night. I lie in the darkness, eyes open, mind racing with images of her face as she kisses that stranger. There's a moment where I almost feel sorry for myself, like I should cry or break something. But the tears don't come. Instead, my heart just hammers, and the headache throbs behind my eyes. Morning brings a stale taste in my mouth. My hair stands in every direction in the bathroom mirror. I don't even try to fix it. I shuffle into the kitchen. The newspaper is on the table, next to a cold cup of coffee that's been sitting out too long. There's a photo on the front page of the local events section. An art gallery opening. She's there, my wife, Rebecca. And next to her, with his arm around her waist, is the man from the video. They're both smiling for the camera. The caption reads, "Local patron of the arts and his muse." His name is Michael. The same Michael who's funding half the up-and-coming shows in the city. The piece calls him a rising philanthropic star. My eyes fix on the word muse. I can't swallow. My heart wants to hammer out of my chest. She's looking at him the way she used to look at me, like he's the sun, the only source of warmth. And I'm left with cold coffee and a local rag that stinks of cheap ink. I don't realize I'm chewing on the edge of the newspaper until a bitter taste of ink spreads across my tongue. The bitterness almost soothes me, so I keep chewing. The part of me that wants to scream is pinned down by something deeper, a numb rage. I open my laptop. My fingers hover over the keys. I used to be a journalist, so words come easily when I'm emotionally wound up. My mind floods with them now. Sharp, acidic phrases that taste like bile. Then I start typing. A short note in the digital comment section under the article. Nothing complicated. Good luck, Mr. Sponsor. In bed with another man's wife. You're no muse. You're a fly. Dirt on a boot is more honest. I hit enter and stare at the words I just posted. My hands are shaking, so I wrap them around my coffee mug, letting the heat soak in. I reread my comment, noticing how petty it looks. But it's not enough to delete it. The pent-up frustration has to go somewhere, and right now it's pinned to that small piece of text for all to see. 2 hours later, my phone buzzes. A new comment in the thread. Michael has replied, "Dude, who the hell are you anyway?" That sets off a storm I never really intended. People jump in. Friends of his. Random strangers. The local gossip hounds. Everyone weighs in with a hot take. The video that started all of this has apparently circulated among a few folks. Whispers. Rumors. Suddenly, I'm being asked for details. People love a scandal. They love a meltdown. And I'm giving them exactly that, feeding the flames one careful drop at a time. I craft short, surgical replies, letting Michael's anger spool out while I stay just measured enough to appear rational. He curses me in front of everyone. He goes on rants, calls me a coward, threatens legal action. People watch him unravel. My heart still hurts, but I feel a strange, cold satisfaction, like I'm dissecting a lab specimen. Then my messenger pings. It's her, my wife. Long paragraphs that keep scrolling and scrolling. She begs me to talk privately. She explains. She pleads. I don't respond. I let her words pile up. I record them in my own folder. I need them for what I'm planning, though I'm not sure what the end looks like yet. I'm drifting through the day like a ghost. The phone rings. I let it. I see her name on the screen and my stomach lurches, but I can't bring myself to answer. Everything is quiet on the outside, but inside, it's like acid sizzling. Eventually, I try to lie down on the couch, pressing a hand to my chest, hoping the pain will ease. My mind goes back to the first time we kissed in that park. How my heart pounded, but in a good way. Now it just hurts. Afternoon edges into evening. I fish out a bottle of whiskey from the kitchen cabinet. 1 glass, 2 glasses. The burning in my throat is oddly calming, like it's scouring away every last bit of my illusions. I message Michael again, prodding him. The rage behind his words is clear. You want to do this in public? Fine. You want to smear me? I'll bury you. I can almost feel the spittle hitting his keyboard. People comment with memes, laughing at him. The power dynamic is reversed. He's the wealthy sponsor, the local celebrity in the arts scene. And I'm a nobody. Yet, I've got the crowd on my side because nothing delights the masses more than watching someone they envy unravel in real time. Night falls. I can't sleep. I keep hearing that moan. Her moan, trapped inside my head like a looping soundtrack. At some point, my phone vibrates again, and I see a new message from her. Please pick up. I'm so sorry. We need to talk. She's typed out entire paragraphs about how lonely she's been, how she never meant for this to happen. My eyes skip over them. I see the words, I love you, scattered about, but they look hollow. I keep imagining how her face must have looked in that moment with him, and I can't respond. I just copy and paste it all into my private folder. The next day, I wake to a headache and a dryness in my mouth. I glance at the mirror. A haggard man stares back, unshaven, circles under his eyes. My chest still feels tight. Part of me wonders if I'm having a heart attack. Another part wonders if it would matter. Death would be an exit, a quick fade from this torment. But I push the thought away. I'm not ready to die. At least not before I finish documenting everything. I rummage through the closet for something semi-respectable. I have an appointment in the city, some freelance gig. I drive with the window down, letting the cool air lash my face. For a moment, I feel almost normal. Halfway through the day, I check my phone. Another barrage of messages from her. Another toxic rant from Michael. I imagine them both swirling in their own confusion. He's probably furious that she can't fix this, and she's probably begging him to calm down. They deserve each other, I think. The bitterness coats my tongue. By evening, the social media chaos is at a boil. Some local blog is covering the drama, framing it as a love triangle gone public. The gallery event has turned into a fiasco. Michael's sponsors are calling him, worried about PR nightmares. He, in turn, is unleashing threats of lawsuits. Then she writes to me again. Why are you doing this? Can we just talk? I say nothing. But I keep screenshooting her pleas, saving them, analyzing every word. There's a moment around midnight when I sense the numbness breaking, replaced by something raw. It hits me. If I keep going, I might destroy her. I might destroy us all. That realization thrums in my skull. Maybe that's exactly what I want, because in my twisted logic, it feels like the only resolution. I see the whiskey bottle. My hand shakes as I pour another shot. It goes down hot, nearly making me gag. I try to sleep. Instead, I drift into restless dozing. Dreams pound through me. She's laughing with Michael. The moans echo, the bench, the video. My chest hurts again. I toss, sweaty and feverish. Morning. My phone rings. A number I don't recognize. Against my better judgment, I pick up. Jack. Her voice. Quiet, tense. Please, don't hang up. I say nothing. I could end the call right now, but for some reason, I let the silence stretch. She exhales sharply. I know you're angry. I know I messed up. I never wanted it like this. My throat tightens. I swallow, but it feels like shards of glass. Go on. She's silent. I imagine her fumbling for words. I made a mistake. A huge mistake. I thought. I didn't feel loved. I felt like we were drifting apart. I got swept up in his world. The parties, the art openings, the compliments. I was weak. I close my eyes, inhaling slowly. The voice in my head says, make her repeat it. Document it. So I murmur, say that again. She sounds confused. I said I was weak. Say it slowly, I reply, a dark satisfaction growing in my belly. I need to hear it. She hesitates but does as I ask. I was weak. My entire body shudders. I wonder how far I can push. And what else? She sniffles. I hurt you. I cheated. With Michael. I slept with him. More than once. Again. I say, voice low, surprising even myself with how cold it sounds. Say the part about sleeping with him. She lets out a ragged breath. I slept with him. I end the call. My heart is pounding. I press my palms to my eyes. What the hell am I doing? It feels monstrous. But I can't stop. I save the call recording. Maybe I'll never use it. Maybe I'll use it to bury them both. That question rattles around inside me as I stare at the phone's black screen. I think about my son, how innocent he seemed, holding that iPad. Did he realize what he was showing me? My chest squeezes again, but I manage to keep breathing. I decide I need to leave the house. Just get out, get some air. I drive aimlessly, passing that same park. It's empty now, a few pigeons pecking at the ground near the bench. A swirl of anger washes over me. I consider pulling over, but I can't stomach being in that spot where everything shattered. Instead, I keep going until I reach a diner I used to visit back in my journalist days. Inside, it's half empty. The smell of coffee and fried bacon envelops me. I pick a booth in the corner. The waitress smiles with that practiced hospitality. I order black coffee and a plain bagel, feeling no appetite. My phone buzzes. Another message from the website's comments section. People are still going wild. Michael has threatened to press charges for defamation. Some troll replies that it's not defamation if it's true. People laugh at him. They're reveling in his meltdown. They're on my side, but I don't feel any satisfaction. Just emptiness. I scroll through the messages. My wife's words are haunting. Jack, please. Talk to me face to face. Let's fix this. I don't want to see her face in person. I'm scared I'll either break down or do something worse. The coffee arrives, and I sip it, letting the bitterness coat my tongue. Eventually, I type a new post, fueling the spectacle. He's not a patron. He's a fraud who thinks money can buy loyalty. He can have my wife's body, but never her heart. because she has none. I press enter and sip my coffee, feeling a hollow throb behind my eyes. By the afternoon, my phone rings again. This time, it's Michael. I ignore it twice. Then a text from him. You want to meet? We can settle this like men. I feel a spike of adrenaline. My hands tremble over the screen. Before I can stop myself, I type back, name the time and place. A response pings, Ravenwood Art Center, 7 p.m. Be there. Ravenwood is a modest gallery downtown, the one that has a new exhibition. Probably one he's funding. I can picture the white walls, the overhead track lighting, the hush of cultured conversation. This might be a stunt. He'll want to corner me with some pre-planned intimidation. Part of me craves that confrontation, to see him face to face. The other part wonders if I'm about to cross a line I can't uncross. But I go. At 7 p.m., I pull up and find street parking. My heart's hammering, my chest pain flaring again. I manage to swallow some air and get out of the car. The outside of the gallery is all modern angles and glass windows, casting reflections of the city lights. Inside, subdued classical music plays from hidden speakers. Guests wander with wine glasses, talking in low voices. I scan the space, and then I see him. Michael stands near a large abstract painting, talking to a few people. He's wearing a dark suit, crisp shirt. An expensive watch glints on his wrist. He glances up, spots me. His green eyes narrow. He excuses himself from the group and strides over. Posture taut. No handshake. No pleasantries. He steps closer than I'd like, and I catch a hint of cologne. So, you're Jack. I nod, forcing my hands to remain at my sides. That's me. He lowers his voice. Let's talk outside. I follow him to a side corridor that leads to a back patio. It's empty there except for a couple of staff members sneaking the smoke near the dumpsters. Michael signals them to leave, and they scatter. He turns to me, jaw tight. I don't know what you're getting, but you might want to think twice about the PR fallout. The more you push, the more I show. You want me to share that video to every local station. Let them run a nice piece on how our star sponsor seduces married women in public parks. He clenches his fists. I can see the vein in his temple. You have no idea what you're doing. I tilt my head. Oh, I know exactly what I'm doing. I'm showing everyone who you are. He steps closer. She came to me, you know. She was the one who wanted more. I just gave her what she needed. My throat constricts, but something in me remains calm. My voice drops. That's exactly the line a scumbag would use. His jaw works. You think I don't feel guilty? I told her from the start, if she's not happy, she should leave you. But she kept saying it's complicated. Then you show up with your social media theatrics, humiliating me in public. I exhale slowly, letting the rage coil. Must be tough, having your spotless reputation tarnished. How does it feel to lose your image? He glances away, then back at me with something akin to pity. You're punishing her too. Maybe she deserves your anger, but you're burning everything. Your own family included. The words sting because there's truth in them. I swallow, feel the dryness in my throat. She made her choice. He scoffs. You're so high and mighty. Where were you when she needed attention? Why do you think she came to me in the first place? If you'd done your job as a husband. I shove him, hard enough that he staggers back. The movement feels reflexive, like a spring uncoiling. He nearly hits the wall. My knuckles tingle with adrenaline. He recovers and raises his fists. But a door opens, and a couple of guests step out, startled. I drop my hands and step away. My breathing is rough. Michael straightens his jacket, face crimson. He glares at me, then puts on a forced calm for the onlookers. We'll settle this soon, he mutters, pointing a finger at me. Then he storms inside, leaving me alone in the cool night air. I stare at my hands. They're shaking. I should feel triumphant. Instead, I feel nauseous. The chest ache returns, and I grip the railing for support. My mind is screaming. This is insane. But I can't back down. I can't swallow the humiliation. I eventually drive home. The house is quiet. My wife's car is gone. I have no clue where she is tonight. Maybe with him. Maybe staying at a friend's place. I can't bring myself to care at this moment. I open the fridge, see half a leftover pizza. The sight of it makes me want to retch. I slam the door. My phone lights up with a message from her. I need to come by and talk. Tomorrow. Please. I type back, fine, 10 a.m. You better show up. My heart is racing just from writing those words. I sleep on the couch again, or at least try to. My dreams swirl with images of me pounding Michael's face into the concrete. Then I see my wife's eyes, wide with horror, as if I'm the monster. I jerk awake, drenched in sweat. Morning, 9:58 a.m. I sip coffee, pacing in the living room. The chest pain is a dull throb. The doorbell rings at exactly 10 o'clock. I open it to find her, hair pinned back, face pale. She looks tired, worried. She steps in, glancing around. The tension is thick. "Where's our son?" she asks, voice trembling slightly. "School," I say curtly. "He doesn't need to see this." She nods, setting her purse on the sofa arm. Then there's a long silence. Finally, she looks up. "Jack, I need you to understand." "No," I cut in. "I need you to talk. And I'm going to record it. You say everything. Every detail. Then I'll decide if I can ever look at you again." Her lips part, and tears well up. "Please, can we do this without?" I said talk. My voice comes out louder than I intended. I hold up my phone, thumb hovering over the record button. From the beginning. She inhales shakily. "All right." Her voice trembles, but she forces herself to speak. "We've been married 15 years, and for a while now, I felt disconnected. You were so involved in your writing, in your online columns. I tried to tell you, but you were always busy or closed off. I was lonely. Michael showed interest in my ideas for the gallery, introduced me to people. One thing led to another, and I crossed a line I shouldn't have. I'm sorry." I press my lips together. "Explain how it started. The first time." She swallows. "He was flirting. We were at a gallery event, just small talk at first. Then he invited me to dinner." "Dinner?" I echo, focusing on the phone. "Where?" She hesitates. "A French restaurant downtown." "You let him pay?" She nods, eyes cast down. "Yes." "How long after that did you sleep with him?" She flinches. "A week." I force myself to remain cold. "Why?" "Because you felt invisible around me." "That's your excuse." Tears trickle down her cheeks. I'm not excusing it. I was weak. I was flattered by the attention. He's charming in this worldly way, and you wanted adventure. My voice is flat. So you jumped at the first rich guy who called you pretty. She sobs softly. Yes, I guess so. But it's more complicated. I never stopped loving you. I was lost. We stand there, the tension throbbing like a bass drum. My phone is capturing everything, and a part of me hates myself for wanting it documented. But I can't help it. I need evidence. Evidence of what? I'm not sure. Maybe so I can keep hating her without doubt. I hold her gaze. The video in the park. Did you know someone was filming? She shakes her head, arms folded protectively. No, of course not. It was just supposed to be a quick moment. We got carried away. Carried away. My lips form the words, but they taste like acid. I glance down at the phone screen. The recording is still going. I save it. Then I slip the phone into my pocket. She looks at me, tears shining. Jack, I know you're angry. I understand if you hate me. But please, for the sake of our son, let's find a way to move forward. My chest clenches. The idea of moving forward from this feels absurd. Move forward how? Pretend it never happened. Her eyes beg. Therapy. Separation for a while. Anything. Just, let's not destroy each other. I swallow. The house feels small, suffocating. I step back, letting the front door stay open. Get out, I whisper. She hesitates. What? Get out. I roar this time. My voice echoes off the walls. I don't want to look at you right now. She rushes toward the door, tears streaming. She picks up her purse with shaking hands, glances over her shoulder. I'm sorry, she whispers again, then slips outside. The moment she's gone, the rage seeps out of me, leaving only exhaustion. I sink onto the couch, bury my face in my hands, and let out a broken sound that might be a sob or a laugh. My phone buzzes. More messages, more drama. I ignore them all and stare at the empty place on the couch where she used to sit. My life is unraveling, and I'm the one pulling the thread. For the next 2 days, I barely function. The chest pain becomes a dull companion. I eat only when I feel faint. I update the blog occasionally, fueling the public fiasco. Michael sends me more hateful messages, demanding I retract my accusations. My wife tries to call, leaves voicemails. I listen to them quietly, my heart fluttering with conflicting emotions. Then I save each one in a folder named Evidence. It's almost comedic, like I'm documenting my own slow-motion car crash. Then I realize, that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm building a story from every angle, letting the world watch. The hateful satisfaction is a drug I can't quit. One evening, my son is asleep in his room, and I scroll through the new comments. People are championing me as some vigilant of betrayal, cheering me on, calling Michael a snake. Others blame me, saying I must have neglected my wife if she strayed so easily. I close the laptop. My head throbs. I feel the insane urge to laugh. My entire marriage is reduced to a trending thread of memes and hashtags. I think about grabbing my car keys, driving away forever, leaving behind this whole rotten scenario. But I feel anchored, trapped by my own thirst for closure. I go into the bathroom, splash cold water on my face, stare at my reflection. It looks like a man at war with himself, eyes ringed with weariness. The next day, a journalist friend calls. Jack, I saw your posts. This is pretty big. Are you sure you want to keep fueling the fire? You could walk away. I laugh bitterly. No, I can't. Not yet. He sighs. You used to be one of the best at telling stories that matter. Now you're just feeding a tabloid frenzy. I hang up on him. I know he's right, which only makes me more furious. I pour a stiff drink, ignoring the fact it's barely noon. By the weekend, Michael's meltdown is near complete. Sponsors are pulling out. The gallery scene is buzzing with talk of his scandal. He's lashing out in every direction, calling me a liar, calling my wife a manipulative seductress who played both sides. I read his statements to the local paper with a wry grin. He's turning on her too. The infatuation is gone, replaced by self-preservation. My wife tries once more to call, begs me to stop this. She says Michael's threatening to sue her for reputational harm, claiming she used him. She pleads for me to meet in person, to talk about what's best for our son. Her messages are full of apologies, confessions, regret. She says she'll do anything if I'll just end the public spectacle. I stare at the phone. My thumb hovers. I could respond with some half-baked promise. Instead, I type, I'm writing the final chapter of this story. After that, we can figure out arrangements. Don't contact me until then. I press send, close my eyes, and wait for the sense of relief. It doesn't come. The chest ache is still there, heavier than ever. That night, I open my laptop. The screen's glow lights my features in the darkened room. I start writing the story in earnest, our story. Every detail, every message, every humiliating admission. I screenshots, quotes, timestamps. I weave it into a narrative that spares no one, not even me. Because I'm complicit too, This obsession with vengeance has become my lifeline. I pour it all out. It's raw, ugly, and honest. By the time I'm done, the sun is coming up. My fingers ache from typing. The edges of my vision blur from exhaustion, but I keep editing, polishing, making sure every line cuts. This is what I do best, after all. I might not be the best husband, but I can write. And now I'm using that skill like a scalpel to slice open every vein in this tragic fiasco. I post it online, on my personal blog that still has a modest following from my old journalism days. Then I share the link to social media. For a moment, I just breathe. The story is out there. The truth, from my perspective. Let them devour it. Let them judge. My phone vibrates almost instantly with new notifications. I turn it off. I lean back in my chair. My body trembles. My head's pounding. I should feel triumphant, but I'm suffocating. The pain in my chest tightens. I slump forward, gasping. For a second, I'm convinced my heart is about to give out, and a twisted part of me whispers, "Let it. Let it end." But I don't die. The pain recedes slowly, leaving me dizzy and drenched in sweat. I wipe my forehead, stand on unsteady legs, and shuffle to the bathroom. Splash water on my face. Try to breathe. By midday, the blog post has gone viral, at least in our local sphere. People are sharing it. Some condemn me for humiliating my wife. Others celebrate me for exposing them. Michael's meltdown intensifies. He releases a statement calling me deranged, threatening more legal action. My wife texts a single line. "Why? I can't do this anymore." She stops messaging after that. I read those words again and again. I can't do this anymore. And I wonder if she's at her breaking point, if she's suicidal, or if she's just furious. My heart squeezes painfully. I can't decide how to respond. So I do nothing. In the days that follow, the story remains a top local headline. I keep to myself, ignoring calls, ignoring the world, refreshing the comment sections with a numb sense of inevitability. The reality sets in. I've scorched the earth. I've exposed my wife's betrayal, but I've also shredded the remnants of my marriage. My son is caught in the middle. I'm not sure what I've won, if anything at all. One evening around dusk, there's a knock on my door. I open it to find her standing there, eyes red from tears, holding an envelope. Without a word, she extends it to me. I see legal letterhead, probably from Michael's lawyers or from some mediator for our separation. She steps back, voice trembling. "I'm leaving for a while. I'm taking our son to my parents' place on the East Coast. We need space." A wave of panic hits me. "Wait, he's my son too." She nods. "I know, but he needs stability. You can't provide that right now." Her eyes flick over me, noticing my unkempt hair, the stubble, the stale whiskey smell on my shirt. Her look is sad, not angry. "You need help, Jack." I want to argue, but the words won't come. My throat closes. She continues softly. "I read your story. All of it. And I'm sorry that's what we became. I did love you once. Maybe I still do in some twisted way, but I can't be here anymore. Not now." I swallow hard. The ache is back, roaring in my chest. I manage. "You're taking him." She presses a hand to her mouth, tears threatening again. "He'll call you. We'll figure out visits. But please, get yourself together." I realize I'm shaking. The entire house feels like it's tilting. "You and Michael." She shakes her head. "We're done. He hates me now, blamed me for everything. I don't care anymore. I just want to breathe again." I stare at her, wanting to say so many things. Apologize, yell, beg, or maybe laugh at the cruelty of it all. Instead, I just stand there, numb, as she turns and walks away. She reaches her car, glances back once, then gets in and drives off. I close the door. The envelope in my hand feels heavy. I set it on the table without opening it. My chest throbs. For a long time, I stand there in the empty living room, listening to the tick of the clock. I realize I'm alone. Truly alone. That night, I find myself in front of my laptop again, rereading the blog, scanning the comments. People have moved on to the next scandal. A few linger, discussing whether I'll reconcile or end up divorced. A random commenter posted something that stings. He got his revenge, but now what? He's lost everything. I close the browser. The words ring in my head. Now what? I wander into the kitchen, rummage for the whiskey. I pause. My hands are shaking. If I keep going down this path, I might not come back. I might drink myself into oblivion or do something worse. The pain in my chest is a constant reminder that my body can't handle this forever. I look around the silent house. Framed pictures on the wall. Me, my wife, our son, all smiles on a beach vacation. Another one from our wedding day. Another from a Christmas morning. They mock me with memories of what used to be. I walk over to the pictures, stand there, feeling the numb cold shift to a crushing sadness. I gently lift the wedding photo off the nail. Look at our younger faces. She's radiant. I'm beaming. We look happy, like a promise of a future untainted by betrayal. I feel tears come, hot and unwelcome, sliding down my cheeks. My breath hitches, and I let out a strangled sob. The clock ticks, but I'm lost in waves of grief. My legs buckle, and I drop to my knees. The photo clatters to the floor. I press my hands to my face, stifling the sounds. It's a raw, ugly breakdown that I've been suppressing for weeks. My chest hammers with a different kind of pain now, an ache of heartbreak rather than the searing anger. Eventually, I manage to stand. I pick up the photograph, place it face down on the table. I wipe my eyes, inhaling raggedly. I feel empty, and somehow, that emptiness is a relief. The storm of rage has passed. What's left is a quiet sea, gray and vast. I glance at the whiskey. For a second, I consider pouring it all down the sink. Then I close the cabinet. Maybe I'll do it tomorrow, I tell myself. It's enough that I can walk away from it tonight. I move to the living room, slump into the couch. There's a single lamp on, casting a lonely glow. My mind drifts to my son. How I miss him already. I think of my wife, imagining her driving, tears in her eyes. I wonder if Michael is somewhere cursing my name, or if he's already found another fling to amuse him. The thought no longer ignites fury, just a sad acceptance. The house is so quiet I can hear the hum of the refrigerator. I rub my sternum, noticing the chest pain as dull to a faint pressure. My hands are steady. My breathing slows, becomes deeper. I sit there a long time, feeling a peace that's tinged with sorrow. I realize I got my revenge, publicly, brutally, and it didn't heal me. It just scorched the ground under my feet. Now I have to figure out how to stand on these ashes and rebuild. Eventually, I power on my laptop. I start typing again. But this time, it isn't a vendetta. It's something else, maybe a confession, or an attempt to find meaning. I write how love decays when left untended, how betrayal can hollow out everything you thought you knew. I write about the illusions of triumph and revenge. The words come out quietly, one by one, and I sense that I'm no longer writing for an audience. I'm writing for me. I don't know how long I type. When I finally stop, the sun's morning light spills through the blinds. My eyes are heavy, and I realize I feel a little freer. The madness is spent. I'm not healed, but I'm alive. I close the laptop, stand, and stretch. My back cracks. The day feels new. The weight in my chest is still there, but it's lighter. I pull out my phone, stare at it, thinking of my son. I open the messaging app. My fingers hover over the screen. Hey, buddy, I finally type. Just checking in. Love you. I send it. Then I wait, uncertain of when he'll see it or how he'll respond. But a part of me feels calmer, just knowing I've reached out. Then I step to the sink, Grab the whiskey bottle, unscrew the cap. The smell wafts up, sweet and biting. I'm tempted, but I tip it and let the liquid flow down the drain, watching it swirl away. The final act of letting go. And as I watch the amber fluid disappear, my shoulders relax. I close my eyes, exhale. The house is silent, yet I feel a strange flutter of possibility. For the first time in weeks, I realize I'm breathing without pain, like I might survive this after all. I glance out the window at the empty street, the sun creeping above the rooftops. There's a long road ahead of me, legal battles, custody fights, therapy, whatever comes next. But for now, in this moment, I'm just here, breathing, freed from the worst of my rage. I turn off the faucet. There's a quiet finality in that little click. Then I walk to the living room, sit down in the chair, and let the sunlight warm my face. I'm not sure if this is redemption or just exhaustion, but it feels like I've come through a storm. And even though the ground under me is scorched, I'm still standing. The day begins, and for the first time, I face it without the weight of vengeance on my shoulders. I'm empty. I'm raw. But I'm alive. And maybe, just maybe, that's enough for now.